Hello, good afternoon. Again, this is part of my research methods class. For this video, we will look at how to narrow a general topic or a general subject into a scholarly topic. So for the last couple of weeks, I have asked the students to start generating ideas for their possible thesis topic, which they will defend as their undergraduate research. So the very first challenge that you will encounter is really determining what it is that you want to write and how do you narrow down a topic that is so wide, or how do you increase the level of complexity naman if your topic naman is too narrow. Now, determining whether a topic is wide or a topic is narrow would require a little bit of critical analysis. Now, for you to determine whether your topic is very wide, very general, it means that there's just too much of information or too many issues or concerns that can be tackled in the particular subject. So here, in this video, I'd like to assist you in trying to narrow down or pare down your general topic into a more substantial scholarly topic that you can propose for your thesis. So here, unlike a general subject, a scholarly topic should, number one, examine one narrowed issue, not a broad subject. Second, address knowledgeable readers and carry them to another level of knowledge. Third, have a serious purpose, one that demands analysis of the issues, argues from a position, and explains complex details. And then finally, meet the expectations of your professor or your instructor and conform to the course requirements. Okay, so I've just mentioned 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll give you an example. One general topic that needs narrowing, for example, is you want to study poverty in the Philippines. Now, that is a very general topic. You can approach this topic in so many ways. Okay, I keep saying there's just too many windows or too many doors that you can enter when you have a topic like poverty. Okay, in my earlier class, somebody mentioned studying the government or studying politics or maybe studying economic growth. Again, those are general topics that can still be pared down into one scholarly topic by looking at one issue. Remember, some of your audience or some of your readers actually understands these areas of interest. And what you want to do is, based on the current findings, based on the current research, based on the current concepts that are known in the field, you want to add up to that. Okay? So therefore, the topic on, let's say, poverty in the Philippines, I have a group that are focusing on a narrowed issue. I think the topic is on conditional and unconditional transfers. Okay, transfers are from the government to specific groups of people based on certain qualifications. So here, they're looking at conditional and unconditional government transfers to people belonging to a certain income level in order to assist them or elevate their status into a higher level of income, maybe through assistance in education or assistance in agriculture or just a transfer, an amount of money given to a family or given to an individual to assist him in his daily living. So here, they're talking of specifically looking at conditional and unconditional transfers to families that can assist them if they belong to a family in the lower income level. So now you're looking at a poorer or a relatively financially challenged group of families or members of the community. So basically, you're talking about poverty here and how to alleviate poverty using government transfers. So instead of just focusing on government transfers, they still narrowed it down to a more specific issue of debating whether here, in number 3, it demands analysis and argues from a position. Here, in this topic, they are arguing whether it's good to have unconditional transfers or conditional transfers. Unconditional transfers mean that the government gives a family or an individual money, it doesn't matter if they use it on a specific purpose or not, or if they are monitoring of it is based on how they use it or not. While conditional transfers mean that once they give you a certain amount of money, then it is focused on alleviating a certain aspect of that family's life or a person's life. Maybe it can be used for education alone. So there is a condition to the money or the condition to the assistance. Therefore, there are different effects. Their hypothesis is there are different effects on families or individuals, whether the assistance, their poverty assistance, is conditional or unconditional. Okay, so now they will argue one position and then find data and find information which explains in detail, okay, the more complex issues between conditional and unconditional transfers as an instrument to alleviate poverty in the country. So from a general topic of poverty in the Philippines, they narrowed it down to conditional and conditional or unconditional transfers. So therefore, now that topic is already being defended, and we're just waiting for the findings of that particular study. So here, you meet the expectations of the instructor or the professor or the department, and you conform to the course requirements. So your inquiry into the issues or your effort to solve a problem will empower the researcher, the research, and the paper you produce. When your topic addresses such issues, you have a reason to, number one, examine with intellectual curiosity the evidence found. So since this is a study made by students, the conditional and conditional transfers, I found out that, of course, they are very much interested in it because some of them or some members of their family or some members of their community, they have observed are receiving conditional and conditional transfers, and they want to find out how it alleviates, okay, the conditions of the community or alleviates poverty in general. And then you have a reason to share your investigation of these issues with readers. There are a lot of people concerned with the 4 Ps or the conditional and unconditional transfers coming from the government. Apparently, there are several kinds and there are several types, which brings them special perspectives and enlightening details. Okay, you are also you have a reason to present a meaningful discussion of the implications of the study rather than merely presenting a summary of ideas. So merely defining what conditional and conditional transfers are, or how many people are receiving conditional and how many people are receiving unconditional, is not enough. Okay, that is just baseline data. The researchers, the student researchers, will be looking at intricate details of the processes, the procedures, the monitoring, evaluation of this government program, and how it will assist poverty alleviation. So this topic, actually, the students will be using 2 types of methodology. One is primary data gathering, meaning they will survey respondents who are qualified recipients of government transfers. And second, they will be getting nationwide data or maybe regional or national data. I'm not sure which they have decided to do. And then run it into a statistical analysis and see if it affects gross national product or gross domestic product. So it is a good topic that basically started from their interest on poverty alleviation. So poverty alleviation is the general subject, and the scholarly topic is a comparison or comparative analysis of conditional and conditional transfers of the government to specific recipients and how it alleviates poverty levels in the Philippines across so many years. So hopefully this can assist you in your own effort from getting a lot of ideas and getting a lot of topics and narrowing it down to a proposal. Okay, so here is also another way of assisting you in generating naman topics that sometimes merong you have a experience that you really do not know where to start, okay, or you do not know where to get. the topic of interest. Here, you cannot just write a personal essay and call it a research paper, but you can actually choose a topic that you are interested in. Use one of the following techniques that I will describe below. These techniques came from Writing Research Papers, A Complete Guide, 15th edition by James D. Lester. So number one is combine personal interest with an aspect of academic studies. So your personal interest can be music. Your academic subject, you might be taking psychology as a degree. And possible topics is music and mental health. Medyo malawak pa yon. You can narrow it down to a little bit more specific if you can find a model about it. Music therapy for children with ADHD, or therapeutic sounds for eliminating anxiety before exams. So that will be quite an interesting study, if I may. Meaning, if you were someone like me now, when I took exams back in the day, sometimes you get really stressed out, or when you're taking major exams, you get stressed out, and really I do not know how to deal with it. So maybe music can be a therapeutic way of doing it. But we all know that music is already therapeutic. But what if you can really specifically tap therapeutic sounds, specific music sounds that can eliminate anxiety? That can be a good possible research for a psychology major. Okay. Or number two, consider social issues that affect you and your family. An example that's given here is like one of my concerns personally is the online gadget time of my children. Okay, I wasn't able to put something there. So there's this online gadget time of my children. So social issue is decreased socialization amongst themselves, or children and their friends, or even their family members. So possible topics could be behavioral effects of a prolonged period of online gadget use of children. Maybe I'd like to look at what is appropriate. How long should I allow my child? What kind of motivation strategies can I use to enable my child to have a balance, balanced daily activity, that they can use technology and at the same time not be affected so much that they do not want to socialize anymore. Or long-term effects on psychosocial behavior of children due to gadget use. Maybe this can be something of interest to you as well. So another way of finding a topic is considering scientific subjects, if appropriate. So personal interest could be healthy eating and lifestyle. And then the scientific subject can be food technology and sustainability. And possible topic can be sustainable living and healthy practices among residents of urban centers. So this is a very interesting field for me, because right now we're moving towards more sustainable ways of living, so that we can improve our systems better. We can improve the use of our resources in the environment better. So maybe this can be of interest to you. Or another final proposal or a sample or technique can be how to let your cultural background prompt you toward a detailed research into your heritage, your culture, our culture, or mythology of our ethnic background. So our ethnic background, Filipino. Personal interest, Filipino mythology and urban legends. Okay. So this is of interest to me, like Manananggal, Kapre, okay, Vampira, Buntot Pagi, all of those stuff that I used to hear stories from my grandparents. It's interesting to me. Now I'd like to know perspectives of millennials on Filipino urban legends, or even Zennials, perspectives of the young ones, the youth today, on Filipino urban legends. Okay, I even want to know if they are still fully aware of this of the Filipino mythology that we have. Okay, kasi they're also oriented in so many of these mysterious characters by playing online, and I do not know if it seems mysterious to them anymore. And how does it affects our perspectives as Filipinos of our own culture? So that can be really quite an interesting study for someone maybe taking sociology, or someone taking or doing something in communication. I do not know. So maybe this can be a way to jumpstart your own research. Okay, so hopefully this video assisted you. You can replay it, and if I went quite fast, but the 2 slides can hopefully do something in your current stage of finding out what topic to take or what topic to study on. Thank you very much, and good luck with your thesis writing.